Mr. Snyder, the plaintiff suggests that at the time that you guys contemplated this arrangement, you were homeless. True or not true?
Not true. I mean, I was living with Tassie, my girlfriend, but me and her
But you didn't have your own place.
I kick him out.
You kicked him out.
I did.
So did you ever agree to pay 25%?
Yes, but only while I was in use of his truck.
In your answer, you said that he wanted you to pay him a quarter of your profits until he died, and then after he died, that money was supposed to go to his wife. On its face, it sounds greedy, but you know, if somebody is giving you everything you need to start a business from scratch.
He didn't give me everything to start up. He gave me some stuff and he allowed me, well, it was originally supposed to be to buy the truck, but then that just kind of went away.
It's hard for me to get my head around this lease-to-own agreement because there's nothing. Do you have any evidence on that point?
No, we didn't sign anything.
You didn't really sign much of anything for anything.
He said, back in my day, we always did it with a handshake, and he's a Vietnam vet, and he come across as a very honorable person.
All right, when does the deal go south? Because according to your complaint, he was concerned about continuing to get his cut of the profits if you no longer used his truck.
Right. He asked me one day what would happen to the money he was receiving when I bought my own truck. I said, well, if you're not contributing, I won't, that's it.
And that's the point at which you, Mr. Clay, said, well, I want you to sign an agreement that says I'm going to continue to get my 25%, even if you get another vehicle.
True?
Correct.
For the rest of his life.
And then his wife's life.
There was no business before the plaintiff gave you these items, correct?
There was, because I started.
How much money was that business making?
I'd only done a couple jobs, so I mean, it was really fresh.
Would it have been possible for you to start the business without the items that he gave you?
Well, yeah.
You did start without it.
Okay, so then why did you ever take the truck? It strikes me that at some point you just said, I maybe don't want to do this deal with him anymore.
See, he's used that truck as a leverage on people more than once. My girlfriend, when I first met her, she was buying the truck from him. She'd already paid him half the money.
Was it the same truck?
The same truck.
You gave him half the money for the same truck, and then what happened?
I was down on my luck. I needed a job. A lot of things were going wrong in my life, and he offered me his truck. He said, you could buy my truck. I think it was about $2,500. He goes, that way you got a way to go to work. I have kids, I had to get my kids to school and stuff. And I said, okay. For about a year, I would borrow the truck, and I was making payments. Well, when I got a boyfriend, he said, well, you have a boyfriend now. I want my truck back. And I was like, what?
Were you letting her use the truck?
I let her use the truck.
And she was paying you for use of the truck?
No, she was not paying me for the use of the truck.
No, I was buying the truck.
In fact,
Hang
on, I just want to hear his.
When Damian had my truck for 6 weeks, I asked him to return it several times. He just laughed at me and said he wasn't going to do it. Then all this work he said he did to the truck, I had no idea he was doing any of it.
You put almost $4,500 worth of parts and labor into the truck. Why not just go buy a used truck of your own? I mean, something's not holding up.
I didn't put $4,500 cash. A lot of that is time put into it. When you're talking painting and prepping and working on the motor, I had to diagnose the motor. When I first got it, the thing didn't even hardly run.
Judge Domingo?
If he was leasing the car from you, why did he have to bring the car home every night? When I lease the car, I keep it. Why wouldn't he just take the truck and go to work the next morning with it? There's things here that don't make sense. Now, did you ever do landscaping or roof fixing before this agreement?
Yes, for 24 years.
And at what point did you stop doing this work on your own?
I went through a divorce when I lived in Eugene, and that's the reason why I moved to this area. I had a business there, everything was going great.
Give me a timeline on this.
I would say it was 2013 or 14. It was quite a long time ago.
So do you start up another business at that time?
Not right away. I worked for my brothers. They were building greenhouses and stuff around here. I kind of did.
So you did some construction work?
Yeah.
How does Mr. Clay come to you, or how do you get to him to discuss this landscaping deal?
Well, I went over to his house one day and I was speaking with him and his wife on his back porch, and I told him I had just started a business and I was doing this, and this is what I was going to be doing.
But you didn't start any business. You didn't start any landscaping business until you had this conversation with him, and he said, I got the truck, I've got the stuff, why don't you go back to doing the landscaping?